Hello, my name is Elena Dmitrenko, and I'm a professional artist who work with different subjects, styles, theme, and techniques. I work with both oil and acrylic mediums, and I work officially and professionally since 2017. My work is around the globe in more than 800 private collections. I create for these years so many paintings, at least 800, and I don't plan to stop. I had different moments in my life when I had to decide, will I keep on being an artist? I change at least 4 countries. I move from one location to another. And in every moment when I had this decision to be picked and choice, will I still be artist or will I change the path? I still back to and remain the same artist who decide and pick this profession by heart and by some universe power. Once I had a very strong allergy for the solvents when I was painting with oil. It was back at Ukraine when I was at my native lands, and I was decided that I don't plan to quit the job because I also a hairdresser, hair stylist by the profession, and I was been able just to switch for a while. And at that moment, I was don't make much money with art, but still I understand and choose for myself that I don't want to quit. I was both the mask what used by the guys who paint the cars. Sorry for my English, but I trying to explain as possible and good as I can. And I wear this mask with filters. I was crying that I might need to use it for the rest of my life, but I just can't stand the those is my in my head that I need to quit. I had a very strong lining and from a pressure of this mask, and I was try acrylic at that moment. And at my native country, the acrylic what I was used was not that good. The pigmentation was not good, and I can't affordable more expensive at the time. And I was so sad that I want to still create with oil. I can't change with this. I don't want to do watercolor. I need to work with oil. Second time was when I moved to Netherlands because of situation in my country, and the gallery said that they can take just like very few paintings of mine, and it will be in a half of the year. But I have around 300 painting at that moment, which I also moved with me, and I was at a rented one car and with a driver, and I was stuck for 5 days in a custom control of Poland, from Ukraine to Poland, because they was trying to count calculate how many paintings I have. And there was one extra painting what I was forgot I add to the boxes, and it was the painting of my son. And the documents for this painting can't be given because it's a kid, and museum don't give the documents what they give for all the other paintings. So I was stuck for 5 days there, but I did it and I moved to Netherlands. So when I was at Netherlands, I was trying to keep on selling my art, keep on creating, but I was legally not allowed to open a business or LLC to operate and pay taxes at that year, at that exact moment. Maybe something changed, but at that time, as a refugee, I was able to work as a waitress or cleaning lady or nanny or whatever the job is, but not as artist. And it was something what crushing my soul, and I was trying to figure out what will be my next step. I was living in a friend house because to rent an apartment was also a huge deal, and we was unable to do that at that moment. So we was trying to figure out next step. When I was almost decide to move to Portugal with my family, my son and husband, we get an invitation to go to USA. So how the whole chain was work out. I was have a dear friend of mine from California state who write me a message that right now there is a program for Ukrainian people that they can go to USA by invitation, what will be like a sponsor to be invited to USA. He can't do this invitation because I will be unable to stay in their place and I don't have enough budget to rent something at that moment, and also I was being unable to rent something because I don't have a credit score and credit story there. So I write to the Facebook group and I ask, is it possible for artists to have a company or LLC to sell the art directly to the customers and through the online galleries? And one person from Washington State write me that he had a mom that also an artist, and did I am sure that I will make for living enough to be an artist at USA. I said that I can't change my past, and I think if a destiny bring me to USA, I will find my way. So after some video call, they invite our family to Washington, and at that moment, I was being in a friendship with a man who shot my artwork, art collector from Florida State, and I said that hello, maybe one day we will meet, and will be nice to see you in person someday. And he asked, "Will you come to USA?" And I said yes. And we had a video call, and he invited my family to Florida to live at his house. And he said, "Why you will go to Washington? It's so rainy, and you already go through a lot. And I think the colorful, beautiful Florida will fulfill you as artist, and you will truly like bloom here." And after some conversation with the family, with friends, because I understand it will be a long-term move, and I will don't see them for a while, and it's a hard decision. We make decision to try USA. I was no English. My son don't. He was a 8 years old boy at that moment, and my husband also no English on a way like, "Hello, how are you? I'm from Ukraine." So they both accept to go because we do a decision that our son will learn English. I will try myself as artist at US, and let's see what this path will bring us. So we moved to USA, and I was living there for 2 years. I was displayed at local galleries at Naples, Gallery One and Larimart. I still display there. I was going through different art festivals and art fairs. It was very interesting experience. I found my best friend there, Shelley, and I also met wonderful people, and I'm very, very thankful that I was at USA. But at some moment of time, there was a moment of a changing path that I feel that it's a time to leave the country and keep on going and find myself, because I was trying different styles and subject there, what are more like coastal land and something maybe what are not completely who I am. And after talking with family, we moved back to Europe. And right now, currently, I'm here and I'm very calm in my head, in my heart and soul. And I still have something what comes from that period of time. I still create colorful artwork, but I also back to realistic painting. So my journey was very long and interesting. But the only thing I want to say to finish this video in this 10 minutes, that I feeling a big joy to paint. It's something what I would never want to change for another profession if someone will ask me to. I hope that my health will let me keep on doing it till the old age of mine, because it's something would fulfill me, and I know that fulfill other people.